Hello lovely simmers, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are doing kind of an extra video this week. I mean, I was doing 5 videos a week for a while, but I did stop that because of work and planning my move and everything. But this week we got a new kit, so I wanted to do a build inspired by the kit. I was not able to finish this yesterday because of work. I actually didn't download the kit until this morning, but I was super inspired and super into this whole detail and the build and buy stuff that we got from this kit, and this kit is gorgeous. Like, I cannot stop thinking about it or talking about it or building with it, so do not be surprised if there's a couple more builds coming later on, probably next week or over the weekend. And it's called the Courtyard Oasis Kit or Oasis Courtyard Kit, and it's inspired by Moroccan themes and Moroccan architecture, and there's so many beautiful colors and beautiful details into these pieces. You can see some of these columns I'm using right here. I decided to go with the greenish swatch because I kind of liked how it looked, you know, contrasting with the fact that we were in the desert, and I end up adding some greenery to the house as well, so I thought it would kind of contrast the desert and rock atmosphere if we use more of like a green style in the build itself. And up by the front here I'm doing a porch. I do end up changing how this looks. In the future I am going to try and use platforms with this pack because we did get a platform wall decoration. I can't remember what they're called because they're not foundations and they're not called, you know, walls, but I think it's like foundation paint or something. And we did get a style that matches the different patterns and stuff that we got with this pack, and I wanted to try and use them obviously because I was trying to use everything involved with this pack. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out for me. I wanted to do this side entrance to the front patio that led you out to the back courtyard area, and in order to do that with the archways, I had to lower the platform on the front porch, but that's okay. Like I said, I will be playing around with this pack a lot more. And over here, I said I was going to add some greenery. I at first just start with some basic plants. I do end up doing fenced in like garden plots basically, and I put sprinklers and then I shade them in green to make it look as though they tried to grow their own like garden area and they were trying to like battle the desert, because I liked how I was doing things with like all these green plants and all these colorful flowers and everything, because I thought it matched the aesthetics of this pack a little bit better. But obviously it'd be really hard to grow these things in the sand in the desert, so I do end up sectioning off some areas, thinking that the sim who lived here, or the sims who lived here, were trying their hardest to get their stuff to grow. And speaking of the sims who live here, I don't actually have a story this time around. Like I said, I was trying to just play around with the new pack. Now with the theme of the new pack, my best bet is that they were probably either not from here, or maybe they were archaeologists or anthropologists who spent a lot of time traveling and they really enjoyed the world and experiencing different cultures, so they kind of tried to bring that into their home. And I thought maybe because this house is designed for 1 to 2 sims, so I thought maybe even it could be a couple, and one of them is an anthropologist and she met her husband while she was traveling in Morocco or something like that, and so this is the home that they created together. That's as far as I got with the story. I was more so enthralled by the different pieces we got. This area that I'm decorating right now is probably my favorite in the front of the house. I just really like how the green landscaping looks with those green boarded windows, and I have to say I just noticed some of the detail that they added into these windows. Like, at first I didn't realize that they had an archway inside of the windows that you can only see from looking at certain angles. And I just, like, that's like the best part about this pack, is that every time you look at the build and buy objects, you just keep noticing more and more things that you can tell that they put a lot of thought and detail into. My favorite part about this pack is the couches. I really like the pillows, how they're laid on the couches. I wish we could do like removable pillows. Like, we got the pillows separately and we could place them on the couches ourselves, and then that way we could place them on different couches and like kind of mix and match. But hopefully that'll be coming soon. I mean, I haven't heard them talk about it at all, but that would be a dream. And then over here, this is the backyard area, you know, the actual courtyard that we are going to be decorating for this house. And what I did was I used the archway doorways and I placed them on a wall that didn't actually exist, and then I built a wall in between the two. So that way it kind of looked like they were there, but they weren't, you know, actually stuck on a wall, because I didn't want it to affect the way the columns were laying, because I've been having an issue, and I don't know if it's my game or if it's just with The Sims itself, but I've been having an issue where whenever I attach columns to a wall, they keep turning, and I can't get them to turn back the right way, so I didn't want to have a wall there that could mess with the columns the way I had already placed them. And now we're on to the inside of the home. So as you can see, the wall that we're building on is a new color. We did get 2 new wallpapers with this kit. This is one of them, and then the one that we're going to be going into in the kitchen is another. And they're both stone technically, but this one looks like it could just be wallpaper, and I absolutely love it. It's more natural, like neutral tones, and the one that I'm using here on this wall actually reminds me of the color I have in my bedroom, which is my favorite color, and I've been looking for a wallpaper for The Sims for us to have this color, and I keep using a custom content one, so I'm so happy that I finally got this in the pack, or in this kit. And then over here by the front door area, as you can see, I've quickly decorated it. It's very simple. There's a little mirror with a side table, a little bench that I figured they would probably, you know, put their shoes on and talk about their day before they left the door. And then I'm also using one of those, I think it's either base game or city living pictures, and they have the same color scheme as some of the artwork and tile and stuff that we got with this kit, so I was trying to use those throughout the build to kind of bring in more of the colors and all that stuff. And then over here in the kitchen, we are using the other new wallpaper, so you can kind of see it's tiled almost like a backsplash, and I really like the patterns. There's also a new flooring that matches this wallpaper, and I didn't use it in this build because you guys know me, I much prefer, you know, neutral tones, not a lot of color. As you can tell, I kind of stuck, even though I used the green swatches on the outside, here on the inside I stuck to the reds and the browns, and the flooring is like really, it's a lot. Like when you use it in your build, it's a lot, and I was trying to figure out the best way to use it because there's also borders around the different like tiles, and I couldn't quite figure out how to get that to work to a point where I was happy with it. So I decided just to scrap that flooring for this build. Like I said, I'm probably going to be playing around with this a lot, maybe do a couple of shorts with it, and hopefully I will be able to get the flooring in with one of those. But over here is just the dining area. It's super simple. It's just a 4-seater base game and a movie hangout seating area. I did use a lot of movie hangout with this pack as well. I thought that the colors matched. Movie hangout as well as jungle adventure, obviously, and then a couple of base game items as well, the ones from the Caribbean update and then the 21st birthday update. I just thought that they worked really well together. And then over here, I thought that that window kind of needed something because there is a little bit of a ledge in these windows, so I used my red shelf and I just placed some small flowers into the windows just to give them a little bit of extra something, you know, fill in that space a little bit better. And then over here, I didn't want to use the Oasis Courtyard couches on the front porch, in the living room, and on the back porch, so I decided to use these movie hangout ones because they had the same colors that I was playing around with. And then I'm using the paranormal stuff pack, what's it called, fireplace, and then I'm decorating it with just a couple of different, you know, really large green plants, some jungle adventure decorations. Those movie hangout mirrors I placed kind of lopsided so that way it filled in the space and also gave a little bit more texture and dimension, and it also brought in some of the colors that were on the couches that maybe weren't in the rest of the build. You know, I used that purple mirror. And then over here by the back door, it's not really a door, it's kind of just an archway, which could potentially be dangerous in terms of, you know, like, safety? But that's okay. I wasn't really thinking about that when I was trying to make this house look all nice and pretty, but I'm just placing a couple of plants and then also some, you know, technical things, shoe racks and stuff like that. Just, I figured they would probably take their shoes off before they went outside or anything like that. And then over here is just a small hallway space. I decorated real quickly with the paranormal stuff pack side table and then a little palm plant, and then we're into the only bathroom in this build, and it's super tiny. So I'm using the jungle adventure bathroom stuff, and you can tell this bathroom is like super long and it didn't really fit a lot of things, so I tried my best just to make it work, and it is functional, but there isn't a whole lot of decorations in there. It's probably the least decorated room in the house. And then over here, this is the 1 bedroom. I initially was going to build a basement so I could have more than 1 bedroom, but it didn't really work out. I couldn't find a good place to put the stairs, and in case you were planning on having like a family in one of the bedrooms downstairs, I didn't want to use a ladder because then toddlers couldn't use it, and then if you ended up having pets, they couldn't use it. So I decided I was just going to keep it 1 story and 1 bedroom. And I'm using the Seasons bed, and then this wallpaper, this pink one, is another new one from the pack. It's the same one I used in the living room, just a different swatch. And then I'm using the City Living kind of foldable mirror because the patterns on it really reminded me of this pack, and then some more of the City Living artwork as well. And then over here on the dresser, which is from Jungle Adventure, I'm just doing a couple of brief decorations, nothing too fancy. But now we're on to the exterior, which is obviously the main part of this pack, is to build courtyards, you know, Moroccan, and I think they're pronounced riads or ryads, Moroccan courtyards, and they're usually placed at the center of the houses. Now, I didn't have the space on this lot to make it big enough to do a completely centered out courtyard, so I did do one part that's kind of center of the house and then the other part off to the side. And over here we are playing with the new couches. I'm using a couple of different swatches than what I used in the front of the house, and I'm mixing it with the new lamps that we got, and then the side tables. We got a new tea tray that we have, just kind of like a mixed decoration. And then we also have that star that I have on the floor, and also that plant. Those are 2 separate decorations, but they fit really well together, and I was really enjoying how well the different colors played off of each other and how interesting it was. Because this new plant that we got is almost like boxed in, like it's its own planter, and I just really can't wait to play around a little bit more. But besides this, that is it for this build, so I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!